let's be honest, how long did you think it was going to take before they dropped the new Creed Absolu clone? Now, I haven't bought the full bottle yet because I refuse to pay retail. I did get a sample of it and my review will be listed somewhere up top. And I thought it was not only a good fragrance, but I thought a little bit better than the original joints. Now, I've worn this sample a couple of times and I got like about one more wear in it. And so far, it does what Aventus is supposed to do. This one seems to have a little bit more richness and a little bit more body than the original Aventus, which potentially may have like a placebo effect. I may like this because I do smell differences between this and the original, and I've given the original such a hard time that maybe this new change might be good, just not for the price. However, is the new Creed Absolu clone as good as the original? Let's find out. Let's roll my music so we can check out Dua's interpretation of the Creed Absolu Aventus clone.
Welcome to the YouTube channel that will make you laugh more than a gaggle of unicorns mating in the Serengeti. His wealth of knowledge will make the most astute astrophysicist question his life decisions. Led by his spiritual advisors, Chuck Norris and Walter Mercado, I present to you Mr. Kind of a Big Deal.
Kind of a big deal.
Blessing morning, my beautiful peoples. You know who it is. It's your boy, C to the U to the B to the A. Shout out to Dua for sponsoring today's video and sending me this joint as requested. And of course, keeping with their entire lineup, this is Poseidon's Absolute Elixir. They're probably one of the first people to drop this joint, and I know every other clone house is gonna follow suit. Creed Absolu is absolutely polarizing to everybody else. A lot of people feel it's a money grab, and there is money grab elements here. There are differences. I'm sure most of these fragrances, you gotta do a little tweak here and a little move there, and it's concentration this, when you move that one over to the left, and then that's what makes it slightly different. But for $460 some odd or whatever, chill, homie.
More than you can afford, pal.
That's what I'm saying. I like it better than the other one, and I could potentially sell the other one, but I'm in the fragrance space, right? I'm in the business. I'm gonna keep all the fragrances to continue making content, wearing these joints till I can try to get rid of 20 of them in my entire lifetime, because I got a lot of shit to spray. So I haven't smelled Poseidon Absolute Elixir as of yet, but I want to respray the original Absolute on a test strip just to make sure that the side-by-side comparison is, well, comparable. All right, let's do like 3 sprays here. Just wanna re-smell it. With this fragrance, it does what Creed is supposed to do. And as much hell as I give Creed Aventus, it gets the job done. I wore the sample maybe about a week ago, and I didn't wear it because I wanted to wear Creed. I wanted to wear it because I knew Absolute and that Aventus DNA was something that was going to be easily, maybe relatable in the circle that I was in. And with that relatability, I also had a nervousness like people are gonna spot me like as a basic itch wearing this fragrance that most likely somebody in the space was wearing, and I did smell Aventus in the air.
That is a very aggressive scent.
So that was a little bit like deflating, like, somebody else is wearing Aventus. I couldn't tell if it was Absolute, Club de Nuit, or the original Aventus, as it's gonna be very difficult for you to tell the difference in the air, no matter how many times you smelled it. But I knew that somebody else shared that same sentiment, like this is the proper space or scenario to wear this type of fragrance, because all it does is garner compliment, and it's a very easy to like fragrance profile. All right, so I got the Absolute here. Enough jabbering about me meeting fancy people and shit who smell expensive. But let's smell the new Absolute here and do a side-by-side comparison. Let's start off with the regular Absolute, okay, and the Absolute clone. In the space, not 1-to-1, not as of yet at least. The clone is a lot greener, more earthiness, more soily, more mature, a little bit more foamish, fougere, classical stylings than the Absolute. They both carry that similarity, but this Dua, along with others, there's gotta be maceration period. The more you let it sit on the shelf, the more it tends to change as well. So kind of take this with a grain of salt. Now, oh, they are getting a little bit closer now, actually. I already have a number in my head so far, but I'm not gonna jump to conclusions till I wear it on the skin. Obviously, it's very good. There's no way you're gonna say the fragrance is bad, right? Creed Aventus is popular for a reason. You can't say, yo, this shit is shit, wow, super basic and whack. You can't, because it's popular for a reason. I mean, am I lying?
It's not a lie, if you believe it.
Let me go on skin, all right? I got bare skin. On the watch hand, I'm gonna go the original, and I'm gonna go the clone on the bracelet hand. Let me let them air out for a moment. Please hold. All right, let me start off with the clone this time. Ooh, still green, Aventus DNA, mossy, citric, slightly sour, sweet tangerines. I mean, very classical, gentlemanly. I mean, again, it's just, I picture a dude in a tweed coat with like suede elbow pads and pleated slacks, wearing this type of sophisticated energy. Let me go to the original though. Slightly more playful than the Duo one. Still has the maturity over the original Aventus, and the DNA, I mean, is different enough on my skin that it stands out to me as different, not drastically to command another $400 and some odd dollars depending what you bought the original Aventus for, but most of y'all rocking Club de Nuit or Poseidon, let's be clear.
Yeah, I want it to be equal.
Yeah.
Right now, the Duo one is performing slightly better off of my wrist than the original, but it's also a small sample and the aerator is not as potent, so it's probably more distribution as well. I'm still sticking with that same number in my head, and it's about 81% close. The Poseidon Absolute Elixir is definitely different from Poseidon's original elixir and from the Aventus DNA. You definitely get a more mossy, more green, more mature, more plaid, more Irish Spring soapish, gentlemanly hearing bagpipes in the background type energy. I feel like I'm walking through Chicago on St. Patty's Day with the bagpipe dudes playing and they wearing skirts and shit with their hairy ass quads. Is it good, Cuba? Absolutely. Does it smell different than Aventus? Yes, it does. Is it drastically different? If you know the sense, you will absolutely pinpoint the difference. But the difference is not drastic enough for a consumer to purchase the original at retail, which I hope you never do, and the Absolute version at just crazy. Don't ever do that. Wait for gray market prices if you only rock with originals. Now, for me and the rest of the audience, but we all know the rest of the audience is waiting for a clone house to drop the Absolute clone. And here it is. I'll put a link in the description. Absolutely I mean, they executed 80%. What more do you want? And the more this shit is gonna macerate on the desk, it's probably gonna change some more. So that 80 might potentially change, but right now I think it'll linger around that point. Ball spray. It does what Aventus does. Smells good, will garner you compliments, attention grabbing, mass appeal, boardroom, dance hall, corporate flow, real estate broker, and all-around classy gentleman who decided to save some money and invest it properly. I love y'all mother suckers from the heart. Were you looking forward to the Creed Absolute clone? Let me know in the comments below. I'll see y'all stitches next time. You know who it is, biggest in the game. Smooches.
Don't play. Hey, for all the chicks that got dead in the penthouse suite on top of my mom's crib. It's nonsense you never get in. It's nonsense that you would think that you would